All right, I wasn't really sure how to title this video because I'm probably going to cover a lot of things. We're going to talk about deja vu, timeline jumping, the Mandela effect, manifestation, vibrational alignment, witchcraft. We're going to do the whole nine. I'm going to tie them all together as quickly and cohesively as I can. I could definitely break this out into like a 5-episode series, but I'm going to try to just do a concise version that's maybe really, really helpful. And can help you in your life and your journey and your path. I'm going to do this via a story. Well, a series of stories. I'm going to tell you about my experience, what I've gone through, and how I have I'm pretty confident, jumped timelines in a bizarre way, and how I've interpreted this information, how I have the theory I have now. And I say now because maybe it'll be different in 2 years. Like maybe I'll watch this in 2 years and I'll cringe because of how ignorant I was. But for now, this is where I'm at. I've given this a lot of thought, like so much thought. Like this video isn't even a smart video for me to make for my channel because it's not a good keyword to target. But if I don't make this video and I have to just keep holding on to all this, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. So we're making the video because I need to talk about it. So let's talk about it. All right, first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to start this off with deja vu. Now, something I'm very, very excited about is I've never had a whole like group of people that I could ask this to. And now that I do, I'm very excited. I would like you guys to comment what it is that deja vu feels like to you. Because I'm starting to think it's not as universal as we think it is. Because, first of all, I learned about 5-6 years ago that I had been using the term apparently incorrectly, or the way that I experienced deja vu was very abnormal. And then I talked to somebody else, and her experience was also very abnormal. And I was like, I think we're all just using this term to describe similar, but not really exactly the same experiences. And I don't think we realize that because no one really discusses deja vu. We just kind of go deja vu, and we all go ha ha ha, and that's it, right? So I would like you to describe how you experience deja vu in the comment section. Please, if you don't mind. Real research trying to happen here. Now, let me explain to you how I use the term. And also, if anybody else has this, I'm begging you to let me know because I have never met another person in my life who has the same thing, and I would cry to find someone. When I say deja vu, what I mean is I dreamt this. Apparently, it's actually premonition, but it's, for me, you know when you wake up in the morning and you remember a dream and then it fades so quickly and you try to catch it, but you can't hold on to it? It's usually that I remember. I'll remember waking up and remembering this thing that's currently happening exactly as it's happening. But the problem is I always remembered it as it was unfolding. Nothing ahead of time. Like I would remember as you said something, I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, that's exactly what happened in my dream. And then this, and like, yeah, that was what's next. But I only remembered it in real time, nothing ahead of time. And that made me feel crazy for a really long time because to think that I dreamt it would mean I was dreaming of the future, right? But I never remembered it ahead of time. So was I really? You know what I mean? Like it was very unsubstantiated until one day, a life-altering, seemingly mundane, but life-altering event happened. And I'm going to tell you 2 short stories about this. This is the first one. I moved to a small town a couple years ago. And there's a little grocery store with a Starbucks in it. And I was going there every morning and getting myself coffee. And one morning I went in there, and as I hit the register, the deja vu hit me, but this time I saw it ahead of time. This had never happened before. The girl was facing away from me, and I saw the whole thing unravel, and I saw her turn around. I saw everything in real, like exactly vividly. And then this was going to be the day that she remembered me. It was like I hadn't been here for very long. I just moved here. She turns around and she asks me if I want my regular drink. And it's the first time she remembers me. And it was like this notable moment where I felt like I was a member of this small community now. Like it was a cute little moment. And I saw the whole thing unravel. And then she turned around and did exactly the same words, same mannerisms, the whole thing. And I just watched it unfold in front of me, and I was like, holy shit, I just saw the future. What the fuck? And I was like, yeah, that's what I want. And she turns around, and I'm so mind blown, because what you don't understand is that these deja vus have been happening to me for as long as I can remember, but I never remembered it ahead of time. And so I always was never really sure if I was even dreaming it in the first place, or if I was just convincing myself that it was. Like, I always had a doubt. But then to watch it unfold and actually see it ahead of time made me so, like, relieved. Like, it was this doubt of, you might be crazy. Well, part of it. There's always pieces of that. But that part of it was like, you're not crazy. And I was like, fucking thank you. And I was grinning ear to ear. And then the deja vu hit me again. It was like a second wave of it. And in that moment, she turns around, because she's making me a drink. She turns around and she sees me grinning crazily. Because in my dream, I remembered the fucking deja vu too. Apparently. And then she turns around and she asks me why I'm grinning. And then I stumble so hard, because there's no way I can explain that. And I would sound like an absolute basket case if I had tried. That I then make the entire interaction completely paralyzingly awkward. And it's just like awful. So then I'm standing there and she starts to turn, and I realize that's about to happen. I'm about to do it again. Like, I already just watched that happen, and now it's about to occur again. And I was like, shit. So I just like sucked it up and put the smile away. And then that didn't happen. And that fucked me up. And I cannot tell you how bad. For how long? Honestly, still a little bit. Because at that moment, I was like, did I just change my life? And then the butterfly effect, just my imagination went crazy. Like, what if in the other version, I get embarrassed and I decide to not come back here, so I get coffee somewhere else, and then I meet a person and that leads me to this. Like, so many things could have changed. I mean, I've really thought about it for a long time. I have thought of a million different ways in which that could have drastically altered the entire course of my life. The entire course. By just changing that one thing. And I was like, fuck, I just changed something. And I have no idea what. And it, like, I've got whole journal entries of me being like, what if I did something terrible? Why would this even be allowed? Like, who is letting me do this? Like, why would I remember the deja vu in the dream to be able to change it if I wasn't supposed to? Maybe I was supposed to. Am I learning my power? I don't understand what's happening right now. Like, really hard spiral on that. Next time it happened. So this is recently. This was this year. Was the next time this occurred. So that happened in 2018. So 2021 is the next time it happens. So you can imagine there's a huge gap in me being like, hope my life's not extra fucked up from some dumb shit I did at Starbucks. Then, January 3rd, 2021, I am finishing editing and getting ready to upload my favorite tarot and oracle deck video to YouTube. Now here's the fun fact. A lot of you watching this probably found me from that video. And I'm about to tell you the wild, wild fucking thing that is. Now, I, at the beginning of this year, only had 100 subscribers. And I spent 2020 just dealing with my own shit. I only made like 13 videos. I did not take YouTube seriously at all. And it wasn't until this year that I was like, all right, let me just do this. Now, January 3rd was the first video I uploaded this year. I had 100 subscribers. I made that favorite tarot and oracle video knowing full well it probably wouldn't get a lot of traffic because I only had 100 subscribers, and it's a really, really competitive keyword. Favorite tarot and oracle decks, that's a very popular search term. It's a very popular video topic. Everyone has one of those videos, right? But I was like, I'm going to make it. And one of the things I did was, in the last video I made prior to that, my winter solstice video, I think it was, or something like that, I experimented with, I think it was cutting in the middle of the video to be like, hey, if you're still watching, don't forget to hit the like button. Which, on that note, don't forget to hit the like button. And it actually worked pretty well. And I found the last few videos before that video that if I just asked people, which I wasn't doing really before that, but I just asked people to be like, hey, I really appreciate it when you subscribe, hit the like button, all that stuff. It means a lot to me. That if I just said that and asked, people would be like, oh, okay, no problem. And they would just do it. And I was like, oh, cool. I probably should have started doing that a long time ago. I just felt like weird to ask people to do that. But I tried it and it worked. So then when I was cutting that video, the favorite tarot oracle video, I experimented with one more thing. So my Twitter, this is still true. My Twitter has like virtually no following. So I was going to try to add on this like, please follow my Twitter. It's pathetic. No one will follow me. I'm tweeting to no one thing. Okay. I know it seems like I'm distracted right now, but I promise this is going to be a very, very, very relevant story. Stick with me. So I got it. I'm editing it in there. It's in there. I think it's kind of funny. I've got all these jokes about how I'm like, oh, the black, whatever. It doesn't matter. It was fucking stupid. I thought it was funny. It was not funny. That's not the point. The point is, as I was finishing editing that, this wave of deja vu hit me. And it was unlike anything else, where I didn't remember that moment. I remembered the entire projection of the year as it pertained to that video. All of 2021. I remember it was in a dream space. I was in a dream space. I'm sure of that. I don't remember waking up. I remember it and losing it, but I know that I was like, it's almost like I was consciously walking in the dream space. I don't even really understand what it is exactly, but I remember that adding that video. So here's the thing that I learned. What I remembered instantly was that video, I was going to publish it. It wasn't going to initially do very much, but by the end of the year, it would be one of my top ranking videos. It was going to do really, really well. And that video actually has a notable hand in the growth of my channel. And that by putting the please follow my Twitter thing at the end, it actually negatively impacts my channel's growth because people were turned off by it, found it obnoxious, and left me comments about how like sad and pathetic it is that I'm begging for Twitter followers. Like a bunch of fucking trolls got on there and got shitty with me, and it actually didn't get me as much growth as it could have. And then I also was aware that if I didn't do that, it would actually really help grow my channel. I was aware of like two different realities, and I saw the whole thing super fucking clear. And I saw it all in a dream, and it hit me like a wave as I was sitting there. Like I remember the dream that I had where I saw both timelines. And then I went, oh, fuck, I have to change this right now. I need to change this ending. And the second I decided to change it from what it was, which was the pathetic beg, please follow me on Twitter, which by the way, please follow me on Twitter. But when I decided to change it from that to having a different ending that was just like, hey, blah, 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 whatever. I think I just cut the video off. I think the video just cuts off. Or I don't remember what I did, but I just took it out. As soon as I made that decision, not even when I did it, but as soon as I decided that I was going to take it out, everything just kind of went, and I got dizzy, disoriented, nauseous, ill. I thought I had to puke. I thought I had to shit. I did neither of those things. I thought maybe I needed food. I tried to eat. That made it worse. I had to lay down for a minute. But in that moment, as soon as it all happened and I started to kind of feel better, I went, holy fuck, I'm confident I just jumped timelines in like the most conscious, crazy fucking way. I'm also fairly certain I did that at the Starbucks, although I didn't have that like, I did, however, have a massive amount of adrenaline pumping through me because I was so nervous and having so much anxiety about making myself look crazy in the Starbucks. So this video is going to be so fucking long. So anyways, so here's the crazy part about that whole story. And I brought stats. Now, there's a pretty good chance that a lot of you watching me found me from either that video or my tarot deck collection video. Okay? I know that because that's where the majority of my subscribers have come through. That's where most people find me. So I know people are finding those videos, landing on them, watching those, and then being like, what else does she have? And then they'll decide if they want to subscribe or not. And that's how they get into my channel. It's from those fucking videos. Now, in my premonition, deja vu thing, I knew the video wouldn't do well at first, but eventually it would take off and it would be notable. my favorite tarot and oracle video when I published it. And the first 7 days of publishing it, I had 51 views. In a week, I had 50 views. And typically on YouTube, there's always exceptions. But for the most part, those first 7 days are really setting the pace for that video. After 30 days of publishing that video, it had 500 views. So good, but still, I get 500 views on my moon rituals the day after I publish them. So really not that fucking impressive at all. It didn't do good. After a month, it hadn't done anything. As of today, it has, which is about almost, tomorrow will be exactly 90 days since I published it. It has 4,000 something, over 4,000 views right now. It is my highest performing video. It is my highest converting video, which means it's the video that gets me the most subscribers. That video gets 100 to 200 views every single day consistently. Additionally, I then made my full tarot deck collection to capitalize on its momentum because that video was doing good. So it doesn't matter why, but algorithm, science stuff. I knew if I made a deck collection video, it would also do well. I did that. That's my second best performing video with 2,500 views. And then I made the Oracle deck collection video, which is third up. I'm giving you these stats because that premonition and that timeline jump turned out to be 100% accurate. And I'm willing to bet, statistically speaking, if you found this video, if you're watching it because it was pushed to you because you're a subscriber, you probably came to my channel from one of those videos. And I'm telling you that that happened because that timeline jumped by changing the ending of a video. Like it was that one thing. The fucking butterfly effect is crazy. Now, I really think that in terms of manifestation, witchcraft, alignment, soul ascension, I think this all ties in because one of the things that interests me is overlapping and shared timelines and realities and variations. So I'm going to try to keep this short. I know this video is already long, but I'm going to try to explain this very briefly as much as I can and also be concise. So let's say you want to manifest that you marry an Arabian prince and drive a fucking Ferrari. How far is that timeline from the one that you're in? Because I'm guessing really, really, really fucking far. Trying to make a leap from this to that, not real likely. Your vibrational alignment from a reality that far removed from the one that you're actively in right now is it's not even the same resonance at all. You can't just jump from here to there. That's what I think. Okay? But here's what I do think. I think that subtle frequency shifts can move you incrementally into slightly better realities. That's what I think I've been doing. I think I'm just moving myself into slightly better realities because it's not hard to move one over. I think about the multiverse as like just a fucking sea of bubbles. And you can kind of go bloop, bloop. Like the one I want is over there. I can't just pop from here to there. I need to go through all the bubbles from here to there. Does that make sense? So I think it really, really, and I think this happens naturally. I think if you practice personal evolution and raising your vibration and that kind of thing, witchcraft, if done correctly with that intention in mind, can do the same thing. Manifestation techniques, these things, shadow work, these things, they all contribute to altering your vibrational resonance, which will allow you to, I think, my theory that I may cringe at later, but I think by doing that, you shift yourself ever so slightly so you can just kind of whoop into a different one. It's slightly better. It's slightly different. And then you keep doing that until you can get through enough bubbles to get to the bubble you want. And I think here's my theory. I think that's really where a lot of these law of attraction manifestation enthusiasts get so disheartened and give up. And I think they get disheartened because they make their vision board of this reality and they want that fucking reality. And they're just focused on that reality instead of trying to work on just raising their vibration ever so slightly to get slightly better realities. And recognizing when that happens and being grateful for those changes, because I think that additionally accelerates the process. There's a lot of things that I think can accelerate the process. And I think I've been doing that. And I think those instances, the stories I told you, are just really extreme versions where I'm going to be honest, I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening with the deja vu premonition thing, but I do think that when we experience deja vus in general, people, but it's not the dream version that I have, but I think what that is it's a slightly overlapping reality, right? It's like it's almost like there's an opportunity. It's like the reality is right there and you can jump. That's what I really think. Like when I think about it, because I have so long. There's a video that I like in particular where the guy talks about shared energy. He just kind of goes over it briefly, but it makes sense. Where there's a reality that's only just slightly different than the one that you're in. And it makes sense that they would just kind of share some aspects. Maybe you're not able to perceive certain aspects of that vibrational frequency, and that version can't perceive this vibrational frequency, right? But they're both kind of in the same actual physical space. So I think when they get close enough, when they get, like, it's almost like they hum together, is kind of what I imagine when I think about it, if that makes sense. That it's almost like you can jump it. And the way I think about that also is that everything that could happen is or already has happened, infinite realities, blah, blah, blah. You are literally just a light being, right? You're a soul, your energy, entity, a being of light with infinite potential. You're experiencing a linear time through a specific series of events in a specific conscious condition. There's no reason why your consciousness, which is not in any way barred to this physical timeline, can't just whoop into a different version of you. And that's what I think we can do. And I think you can just choose which experience to have. Like that experience is already happening. You can just move your awareness to have that experience, which is already occurring. If you can just get the frequency right. It's like tuning into a radio station. But I don't think just like I can't tune into a radio station around the world right now. I can only tune into the radio stations that are in my local city, you know? I can pick one of those. And then from there, I can maybe move to the next. Like if I get on the edge of the city, I can get the next city over. You know what I mean? Just gonna move incrementally. And I also think that's where the Mandela effect comes from. Last tangent, and then I'm really done. The Mandela effect, which is crazy. The Mandela effect, if you're not aware, is the idea that people remember things differently. When I first heard the Mandela theory, that was when I learned that Nelson Mandela was not dead, because I thought he died in prison. And I read this thing that was like, some people remember that Nelson Mandela died in prison. And I was like, wait, he didn't? I could have swore that happened. No, apparently not here, but I remember it. And there's a lot of people who do. There's people who remember, there's a lot, you can just literally Google the Mandela effect. It'll blow your fucking mind. Because there's so many things in there that I'm like, I'm confident that's what happened. I'm confident that's the Bernstein Bears, the, what is it, the Bernstein or the Bearstein? I think it's Bernstein, right? Oh no, that's the one that's, okay, so it's not Bernstein, but I remember it as Bernstein. Whatever. There's a whole list. Go look at it. I think it's the same thing. I think that's the result of people jumping into similar timelines. Because if we could all move ever so slightly over, then it makes sense that we would all move, or that a lot of people would also move at the same kind of direction, right? So then those people will remember things that were slightly different in the reality they were in before. That makes sense to me. That's all I wanted to say about that. This is a fucking tangent of a video, and I am so sorry. And if you made it, please let me know that you made it. I mean, also tell me if you, how your deja vus are, but then if you made it to the end, please let me know, because I feel very insecure about how much just running my mouth on nonsense I just did. Anyways, thank you for listening if you did, because I needed to get this out. It's been weird. And if you have any theories on what in the actual fuck is happening to me, I would love to find out, because I genuinely do not know. Anyways, that's all I have. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.